1808 for adding meters for fire pumps. Where a fire pump is required to be individually metered, it shall be located adjacent to group meters on premise. Metering for fire pumps may consist of a self-contained or instrument transformer rated equipment sized for locked rotor, 6 times running load, amps. 1808 adding meters at existing service installations. Additional meters to be installed at existing service installations must be grouped and have their service entrance conductors connected in the same manner as required for new installations. On existing commercial buildings where auxiliary wire gutters are used to group meters, and the wire bus or gutter needs to be enlarged for more load or meters, an auxiliary bus gutter must be used if the supply conductors or any one set of service entrance conductors in the gutter exceed 1 to 500 kcm or 2 to 350 kcm conductors per phase. 1808 6 grouping meters at cell tower site service installations. Auxiliary gutters used for cell tower site services shall be installed in accordance with Section 1900 see option 1 or 2 below. 1. Service may be designed with a minimum 600 ampere rated main service disconnect on the line side of an auxiliary wire gutter containing a maximum of 2 to 350 kcm conductors per phase. Service shall be capable of accepting up to 6 individual meter loops. Auxiliary gutter shall be sized as per NEC but in no case be less than 12 inches, h, x 10 inches, d, x 6 feet, l, refer to figure 1901, note. Customer will be required to furnish and install a step bus auxiliary gutter where service lateral conductors or any one set of service entrance conductors are sized larger than 2 to 350 kcm conductors per phase. 2. Service may be designed with minimum 600 ampere rated modular metering equipment. Modular metering equipment shall be capable of supplying 6 meter positions. Where more than 6 meters are anticipated, a main disconnect shall be incorporated into the design of the modular metering equipment, refer to figure 1814. 1808 7 Identification of group metering and service equipment. Where meters are grouped, customer shall label the service equipment for each tenant with their specific service address to include suite numbers where applicable. 1. Where electric meter rooms are approved and used by customer, address markings also shall be added on instrument transformer and meter enclosures to readily associate with customer's service equipment. 2. Identification must be permanent and be applied by means of stencils and black paint. Use of chalk, ink, crayon, tape, labels, permanent markers, etc. is not acceptable. CPS Energy will not install meters where address identification is missing or does not meet the requirements of this article. 3. Where a main disconnecting device is installed in accordance with the NEC, it shall be prominently marked to identify its function. The words main disconnect shall be prominently displayed, refer to figures 1814 through 1816. 4. Address markings must not be obscured when meter sockets, meter enclosures, and disconnecting devices are painted. Address markings and other identification markings must remain legible. Glass meter covers on meters and glass windows in meter enclosures shall not be painted. 5. Meters must be wired, and related switches addressed in the sequence shown in figures 1814 through 1817. CPS Energy must approve exceptions. 1808 Locking and sealing of auxiliary gutters and enclosures. CPS Energy will install seals or padlocks on all auxiliary gutters and enclosures that are located on the line side of its meters. Where customer must access these devices, they must closely coordinate their activity with CPS Energy's customer service representative. 1. Customer shall do no wiring within, or access an auxiliary meter gutter, etc. without first notifying CPS Energy. Customer is not permitted to break or unlock the CPS Energy seals. 2. When gutters, etc. are opened or unsealed by CPS Energy for customer work, customer shall be responsible for safety of all parties, and for protection of conductors against tampering. When work is not under the direct control and supervision of customer, then gutters, etc. shall be secured in their closed position. CPS Energy will issue to contractor a one-time lock for securing meter covers, gutters, etc. 3. When customer completes work and has given CPS Energy notice, then CPS Energy will inspect the job and reseal the enclosures. Customer is not permitted to bypass any metering device for the purpose of providing electric service to a tenant. 1809 Use of metering equipment. CPS Energy furnishes metering equipment only once for use on a specific job. Customer is responsible for metering equipment issued to them. Where incorrect metering equipment is issued, the customer shall contact CPS Energy's customer service representative and a new cabinet work request will be issued. Where the current work request has been closed, the incorrectly issued material must be presented for a material credit before the correct equipment is issued. Customer shall be responsible for installing metering equipment in a neat and workmanlike manner. Note 1. CPS Energy will not reissue equipment for the same job without charge. Note 2. CPS Energy will not issue a material credit for metering equipment that has been damaged or used by customer as a result of modifications or corrections to service design approved by CPS Energy. 1809 1. Installation of conduit or bus duct in CPS Energy equipment. Penetrations in CPS Energy metering enclosures for installing conduits or bus ducts shall be neatly drilled or punched and dressed smoothly. Penetrations shall not be burned. Inches conductor sizes number 4 AWG and larger shall be protected by insulated bushings or other substantial insulating material in accordance with the NEC. All unused openings in enclosures, sockets, gutters, etc. shall be closed using devices not externally removable. All conduit nipples on CPS Energy meter sockets and enclosures shall be rigid metal conduit, RMC, or intermediate metal conduit, IMC, and provide effective bonding in accordance with the NEC and Section 1700-1809. 2. Mounting of meter sockets and enclosures. Customer shall mount meter sockets and meter enclosures in an approved manner using good workmanship. They must be mounted plumb, level, and be fastened directly to the building or structure using removable steel fasteners that do not rely on plastic or similar non-metallic expansion mounting anchors. Wooden backers may be used when they are a permanent part of a building or structure, and where they are not exposed to the weather. CPS Energy will not energize metering equipment installed using unacceptable mounting methods. Customer is responsible for mounting or remounting of their service equipment on building or structure. Removing or remounting of equipment containing CPS Energy metering devices must be coordinated with CPS Energy's customer service representative. 1809 3. Conduit hubs. On 1 meter installations, customer shall not use a smaller hub nor reduce the hub size furnished by CPS Energy. Exception. On group metering installations, the hub sizes may be reduced. Note: where conduit hubs are required on instrument transformer or transformer-rated meter enclosures, customer must furnish and install them. Customer must furnish and install conduit hubs or equivalent devices on auxiliary, meter, gutters. On outdoor installations, all such devices must be weatherproof. Conduit hubs shall not be installed with self-tapping screws, machine bolts are required. 1809 4. Connections to CPS Energy metering equipment. Customer-owned equipment such as generators or other voltage sources, load management devices, instruments, relays, etc. shall not be connected to CPS Energy meters or circuits in meter sockets or metering equipment enclosures except where specifically contracted with, and approved by CPS Energy. CPS Energy may determine the location, use, and wiring of such equipment, and where necessary for safety, service reliability, etc. The equipment may be under direct control of CPS Energy, with customer access only as permitted by CPS Energy.